Hi, my name is Tim Bussey, and for the past 4 years I have had the honor and the pleasure of serving as council member at large for the city of Bloomington. I'm up for re-election this fall, and I would certainly appreciate your support and your vote on November 2nd. Thanks to the Bloomington League of Women Voters for sponsoring these candidate videos. I know they're very helpful, but I also know that the League of Women Voters has a strict 5-minute limit, so I'm going to get started right away here. I work as Communications Director for University Services at the University of Minnesota. University Services is basically anything that isn't academic or athletic at the university. So things like facilities management, police, food, housing, parking and transportation, capital planning. Generally, we run the city that is the University of Minnesota. And with a city of more than 80,000 people each day, it's amazing how often my professional career and my city council career overlap. My wife Heather teaches speech and theater at the university. My son just graduated from the U with a communications degree, and my daughter will be a sophomore at the U in the fall. In short, we're in deep in maroon and gold. As a council member, my top priorities have been supporting Bloomington businesses, finding creative solutions to problems, and providing a big picture vision for the city of Bloomington. I serve on the board of directors of the Bloomington Chamber of Commerce, and for the past 3 years have chaired the Chamber's annual Midwinter Gala. I'm proud to say that in that time we've seen the gala achieve record fundraising totals for the Chamber's scholarship funds that benefit students at Jefferson and Kennedy. I also serve on the Bloomington Port Authority, and I'm thrilled that leadership by the port and by the city has resulted in some exciting retail, hotel, and residential development, both in the South Loop and in the Penn American District. I'm also proud to serve on the board of directors of the League of Minnesota Cities, the first Bloomington city official to serve in such a role since Mayor Neil Peterson did so in 1988. In short, it has been a busy and a rewarding 4 years. One issue the League of Women Voters has asked that we address is the topic of homelessness and affordable housing. Let me start by saying this. This is not a Bloomington issue. This is not a Twin Cities issue. This is not a Minnesota issue. This is a national issue that has been obvious for some time but hasn't been fully addressed. Now, there's many reasons why people are homeless, but I think the most obvious reason is the lack of affordable housing. And we can simply look to our neighbors in Edina and the 66 West project for a great example of a community moving forward on this tough problem. The effort's been led by the faith community and housing advocates, and they've received strong support from the city of Edina and community activists. The city has provided $500,000 in TIF funding, amended its comprehensive plan and rezoned the property where the project will sit, and most importantly, Mayor Hovland and the City Council have provided some great leadership to move this project forward. It's a template that will work in Bloomington and one that we should follow. And I believe we're beginning to follow it. Back in early May, Normandale Highlands United Methodist Church, the Bloomington League of Women Voters, and Oasis for Youth sponsored a community forum on youth homelessness. It was a great discussion, and it was great to hear so many people talk passionately and articulately about this subject. The League of Women Voters also asked us to address the topic of diversity, which is an enormous topic, but here's what I'll say. Without question, Bloomington is becoming more diverse. It's becoming more diverse in just about every sense of the word. Racial and ethnic diversity, religious and cultural diversity, income and age diversity, they're all increasing, and in some cases they're increasing dramatically. It's very safe to say that the Bloomington of 2015 looks very different than the Bloomington of the 1960s and 70s. I truly believe that a successful city government absolutely must reflect the diversity of the community. We need to recruit, hire, and retain city staff, police officers, board and commission appointees, volunteers, and community leaders that reflect the diversity of the city of Bloomington. In both my professional role at the U of M and in my board role with the League of Minnesota Cities, I hear all the time how Bloomington is held in such high regard across the state. I hear about the top-notch staff, always finding innovative solutions and doing outstanding work. I hear compliments about our elected officials, how we work together and avoid the partisan silliness and single-issue voting. And I hear about Bloomington residents who would accept nothing less from their city staff and elected officials. If re-elected, I have every intention of keeping it that way. I'll continue to support the efforts of our outstanding professional staff, providing guidance when necessary, but more often than not, staying out of the way. I'll continue to work with the mayor and my fellow council members to provide the thoughtful, big-picture leadership the city deserves. And I'll work to uphold the high standards that Bloomington residents have come to expect from their elected officials. Thank you very much for the opportunity to serve. Thank you for allowing me to serve you and for your trust. And thank you for listening. Remember to vote on November 2nd.
Hello, my name is Kevin Heinen. I am running for City Council at large in Bloomington. I've been a resident in Bloomington for the past 46 years, which has given me very good knowledge on how our city is run. I am married. My wife Lucy and I enjoy living in Bloomington with our cat. I spend my free time working on our home and helping friends with their home projects. I also enjoy working on old cars and teaching what I know to others. I previously worked for the City of Bloomington in Public Works Department for 4 years, and I am currently employed in the private sector with a local construction company. There are 3 topics I would like to touch on: affordable housing and homelessness, diversity, and fiscal responsibility. First, affordable housing should be made available to everyone seeking a home. No one should have to live on the streets to fend for themselves. The people who work in Bloomington should be able to live and afford Bloomington. Bloomington's HRA program has helped several families in our community to know what it is like to be a homeowner. These families now feel like a part of our community. With assistance, HRA will continue to help these families in need to ensure no one sleeps on the streets or in a car. Secondly, I would like to talk about diversity. I feel every resident should have the right to be heard and have a choice no matter what their race, gender, age, or religious beliefs are. My wife is from Columbia, and she has helped me to be open and listen to different needs from different communities. As a council member, I would be open to listen to every resident's problems, whether big or small, so we both can understand their needs and the needs of Bloomington. Bloomington is a city of many people from many places, and each person is as important as the other and should be heard. We all need to come together to find what is right for Bloomington. Thirdly, I would like our city to be more fiscally responsible with how our tax dollars are being spent. There are several cases where our city government has frivolously spent taxpayer dollars on projects that don't pan out and are not in the best interest for the city. Budgets and taxes need to be re-examined to decide where tax dollars should be spent. This recent fiasco with the City of Bloomington's garbage collection is unbelievable. How can 7 people decide on such an important issue and not give the people that live in this city the right to choose and vote on this issue? This will never happen if I am elected to City Council. Everybody has the right to choose. In conclusion, this city needs new leadership. In my 46 years of living in Bloomington, I have seen a lot of good and bad in this city. I believe Bloomington is a wonderful place to live in. If elected to City Council, I will be there to listen to every resident that wants to be heard and hear their concerns. It is time for this city to have a council member that really cares about the city, its residents, and businesses. A city that votes on all major issues. I am just an average guy who wants to make Bloomington a better place to live in. A vote for me will keep residents in touch with the city they live in. Thank you for your consideration.